10 years ago, you opened a browser and typed something into a search box. You did not think about it. You just typed. But that single action was only possible because 10 people sat alone in quiet rooms and wrote things that nobody wanted to read. Most were ignored. Some were mocked. One was chemically castrated by his own government. Another watched a rival steal his life's work and take the credit. Without those 10 documents, there is no internet, no smartphone, no AI, no version of the modern world at all. These are the 10 papers that built the machine inside everything you touch. Paper 1, 1936. A 24-year-old at Cambridge named Alan Turing imagines a machine that does not exist. An infinite tape of symbols, a reading head moving left and right, a set of rules. With that imaginary machine, he proves something permanent. There are problems no computer can ever solve. Not because machines are too slow, because the problem is mathematically impossible forever. He names one of them the halting problem. Given any program and any input, you cannot always know in advance whether it will ever stop running. Every programmer alive is still working inside the limits Turing drew in pencil in 1936. For proving it, the British government would later destroy him. Paper 2, 1948. Claude Shannon at Bell Labs realizes that any information, a voice, a photograph, a poem, can be reduced to zeros and ones. He calls the unit a bit. He proves you can transmit any message perfectly through any channel if you understand its capacity. Every file on your device right now is his theorem made physical. Paper 3, 1958. Frank Rosenblatt builds a machine that learns. One layer of artificial neurons. Feed it examples and it recognizes patterns by itself. The New York Times covers it on the front page. They call it the embryo of a conscious machine. The hype is immediate. The hype is catastrophic. Paper 4, 1969. Marvin Minsky publishes a mathematical proof that Rosenblatt's invention is broken. Funding collapses, labs shut, an entire field goes dark for 17 years. This becomes the first AI winter. The obvious fix, add more layers, goes untried. Rosenblatt dies in 1971. He never sees it fixed. Paper 5, 1978. Leslie Lamport solves the problem of computers that must agree when they cannot trust each other. He calls it the Byzantine general's problem. His answer is why your bank transaction does not disappear and why blockchain is even theoretically possible. Paper 6, 1986. Rumelhart, Hinton, and Williams publish learning representations by back-propagating errors. They walk through Minsky's wall by running the math in reverse, feed data forward, measure the error, flow it backwards, adjust every weight, repeat millions of times. The network is not programmed, it is corrected until it stops being wrong. This is the engine inside every AI system alive today. ChatGPT runs on it. The face recognition in your phone runs on it. Every recommendation algorithm you have ever seen is a version of this 1986 paper. It sits unnoticed for another 26 years. Paper 7, 1998. Two Stanford PhD students named Page and Brin realize search engines are ranking everything wrong. Keywords are irrelevant. What matters is how many trusted pages link to a page. They call it PageRank. Yahoo passes, Excite passes, AltaVista passes. They build it themselves and call it Google. Paper 8, 2012. A team at Toronto trains a deep neural network on a gaming GPU and enters a computer vision competition. Their error rate is 11 points below second place. In a field that moves in fractions, this is a rupture. The deep learning era starts not with a press release, but with a leaderboard. Paper 9, 2017. 8 researchers at Google publish Attention is all you need. Instead of reading language word by word, every word looks at every other word simultaneously and decides how much attention to pay. It runs in parallel. It scales with hardware. Google uses it for translation and does not yet understand what they have built. Paper 10, 2020. OpenAI scales the transformer to 175 billion parameters trained on most of the written internet. The result writes code, solves math, and completes tasks it was never designed for. Nobody programmed these abilities in. They emerged from scale. Buried in the paper, the authors warn about disinformation and manipulation at scale. They publish it anyway. Right now, your phone recognizes your face using paper 8. Your Maps app runs on paper 5. Every search you run is paper 7. Every AI assistant is papers 9 and 10, running on the engine from paper 6 inside a machine whose limits were drawn by paper 1. 10 documents, most written by people who were ignored, mocked, or erased. You opened a browser and typed something without thinking. Now you know whose ghost answered.